Imagine being told you can't even put a small antenna on your own property, not in the backyard, not on the roof, and not even hidden in a tree. For thousands of American hams, that's the reality under HOA rules. So, this is one of the biggest pieces of legislation affecting amateur radio in years. So, basically, a brief overview is that there is a bill that is in Congress that could finally level the playing field for amateur radio antennas. Now, right now, HOAs can shut you down before you even get on the air. But this act aims to change this. So now, whether you live in an HOA or not, this still directly impacts you. So, just a couple of examples: we can put up TV antennas, satellite dishes, and even flagpoles. So, why shouldn't hams have the same rights? This is what this is all about. It's about fairness, it's about equal treatment, and it's about making sure that amateur radio does what it does best in times of need. So, why does this even matter? Well, the HOAs control 80% of new housing developments. Many have blanket bans on antennas, even small or hidden ones, and you can't negotiate these restrictions. They're baked into the covenant conditions and restrictions. These are legal rules that are attached to your property deed in HOA communities, and they're nearly impossible to get changed. So the consequences is that it limits ham radio participation because if you can't operate at home, then you're sort of limited to going out in the field. It reduces local communication capabilities during emergencies as well. So an example could be that you're the only licensed operator in your subdivision, but your HOA might still ban you from putting up, say, just a simple dipole antenna. So, the legislation, what is being proposed? It is the Amateur Radio Emergency Preparedness Act. This was reintroduced in February 2025. There's two bills. I don't know an awful lot about American politics, but it is House Bill HR 1094 and Senate Bill S 459. So, what it does is it grants ham radio operators the same rights that already existed for TV antennas, satellite dishes, and wireless internet. And these have been around since 1996. And also for flagpoles, which has been around since 2005. Now, a quote from ARRL President Rick Roderick says here that this is about restoring equal rights to licensed amateur radio operators. Now, the opposition to this, and there is some, primarily comes from the Community Associations Institute, the CAI, the National Lobbying Group for HOAs. Now, they argue that antennas hurt property values, but the facts are that for 29 years of TV and antenna rights have shown no negative impacts on safety, home values, or even quality of life. Antennas are still regulated by building and zoning codes. Now, there is a bit of hypocrisy here. You can put up a massive flagpole, but you can't put up a thin wire antenna. It just doesn't make any sense. Now, the other thing is that people get used to what's in the neighborhood. Antennas, I mean, I'm biased, but in my opinion, are no exception. How many times, though, do you drive down the road and you complain about the light poles or the telephone poles or the power poles? We adapt to these sort of things, and antennas are no different. There should be an equal level playing field. Now, there is some question about why this is at a federal level, and the reason being is because the FCC regulate radio frequencies nationwide. The radio waves don't respect state borders, so the laws have to be federal. Now, there was a similar precedent back in 1996 for the over the air reception devices. Again, that's TV, satellite, and internet. They were federal for the same reason. And these FCC rules, they protect your right to install these things: the satellite dishes, TV antennas, fixed wireless internet antennas without any HOA interference. So this new bill would extend those same protections to amateur radio antennas. Okay, so what can you do? Now, the ARRL have made this ridiculously simple and ridiculously easy. All you need to do is go to arrl.org/HOA, and I've put a link in the description below to that. Or you can go to directly to send-a-letter.org/HOA. All you need to do is you need to enter in your call sign and your details here, and then hit send my letters. And then that's all you need to do. The letters will go automatically to your senators and your representative. And it literally takes less than a minute, 30 seconds. So every ham should be submitting this. Now, also for clubs, the ARRL has included some information and instructions for clubs on their website. It relies also a lot on you individually. If you have just 30 seconds, all you need to do is just fill this out so that you can be a part of this. So, this isn't just about hobby rights, this is about amateur radio being able to serve when it's needed most, and that is in emergency communications during disasters. Now, the ARRL, they can't do this alone. All it takes is just this 30 seconds or so. Your voice definitely counts. If there's lots of voices, then Congress will listen and they will pass this bill. So all you need to do again, arrl.org/HOA. Send in your letter, send this video around to your club, to other amateur radio operators, members, share it around, raise some awareness because the future of amateur radio antennas and freeing these prohibitions on amateur radio antennas will depend on it. So it's an ongoing battle. And just again, one of the more recent things that's also been happening is spectrum defense. Amateur radio is copying it from all sorts of sides. I did a video about AST Space Mobile and the threats to 70 centimeters, and the ARRL have also been very active in that too. If you want to see what the latest is and the latest update on the 70 centimeter band and the threats that faced it, then the video over here will explain all of the information.